Hello. After a very stormy start to this storm season, it's actually been a couple of months since we had our last named storm. But here comes Storm Kathleen, named by the Irish Met Service Met Éireann. But before then, we do have an area of low pressure to the west of the UK as we go through Thursday into Friday. That was actually named Storm Olivia by the Portuguese Met Service, as it's caused some disruptive weather, particularly around the Azores area. But our attention is turning to a deeper area of low pressure building to the southwest of the UK that has been named Storm Kathleen by the Irish Met Service. You can see tightly packed isobars indicating that we are going to see strengthening winds. The low actually goes through its most rapid deepening to the southwest of the UK, so it will be quite a mature feature by the time it comes across us. Nonetheless, unseasonably deep area of low pressure bringing unseasonably strong winds as we go through Saturday and overnight into Sunday. Mainly across western parts. In the east it will be blustery and windy, but the strongest winds will be across western parts on Saturday and then in the northwest as we go into Sunday too. We do have a couple of warnings in force at time of recording. There's a yellow warning across the whole of Northern Ireland and a separate one across parts of southern, southwestern Scotland and western parts of England and Wales. Quite widely in these warning areas we're going to see gusts of around 50 miles per hour. In exposed spots we're looking at gusts of around 60 to 70 miles per hour, and we are entering a period of spring tides, so large waves also a cause for concern, could cause some significant disruption around coastal areas in particular. These aren't the strongest winds that we'll have seen with any storms so far this year, but nonetheless, because of the time of year and it being well into April and people travelling a bit more as we are still in the Easter holidays, we are likely to see some more disruption, hence why Met Éireann have named this feature. Looking at the weather on Saturday, and after a very wet start across parts of Scotland with heavy rain here, clearing away towards the north, otherwise the weather on Saturday actually looks largely dry. It is going to be windy, particularly towards western parts, but there will be a lot of dry and at times sunny weather, especially towards the east, and here the winds won't be quite as strong as elsewhere, so not too bad a day. Some showery outbreaks of rain across parts of Northern Ireland mixed in with those strong winds here. We are also dragging in some very warm air up from the south, exceptionally warm air for this stage in April, and so there's a good chance that Saturday is going to be the warmest day of the year so far, with highs of around 20-21 Celsius towards the east, the first time that we're likely to get above 20 Celsius this year. And even elsewhere temperatures will be well above average for the time of year, but all the time we do need to factor in those strong winds which will offset that warm feel. So it is going to be such a windy day, but also quite a warm one. Later on as we go through Saturday and overnight into Sunday, further outbreaks of showery rain, which could be heavy at times, and so I think Sunday is going to be a bit more showery, and even though the strongest winds are easing for many of us, it's still very windy across northern parts of Scotland. If you want more information about the weekend's forecast, then do check out our weekend weather video, which will be available on YouTube very shortly. Otherwise, do stay up to date as the warnings are likely to get tweaked as we get closer to Storm Kathleen arriving. Bye-bye.